research on IRV has shown that because it is a newer thing, people who are more educated tend to understand it better and participate further through the process, and people who are less educated seem to be more intimidated by it and not often, but sometimes only fill out one or sort of don't fully understand how it works. One, I guess, would you agree that that's seemingly a fair analysis? And then, does that create an unfair system, and how do we fix that under IRV?
In fact, that's not true. 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 In both of the IRV elections, 99.9% of the ballots were filled out correctly. So from that data...
Can I ask real quick what you mean by correctly, just so everybody...
correctly means that the candidates were rated. So that, for example, there weren't 2 1s placed, or there wasn't an A placed next to a candidate. So they were filled out correctly, which means that people understand the process. And I think it's really disrespectful to voters again. I think it's to think that you have to have a college degree to vote under IRV. That's just not the case, and the ballots don't bear that out. It's really not true. And again, I know that this information is from Tony Grzinski, the same person who had the wrong data from CNET data on his from his website.
This actually came from a couple studies.
Okay.
So not just it. His does say the same thing, but
in Burlington, that's not the case.
Alluded to here is you're getting back to the what is correctness of the ballot, and is it somebody didn't run out the second, third, or fourth place ballots, and that's true. So even though 99% of the ballots weren't spoiled, there were some discrepancies. And in 2006, there were 1,041 votes that were exhausted. Otherwise, they didn't do their second, third, or fourth vote, and that was greater than the margin of victory. And in the 2009 election, there were 606 voters whose votes weren't finally tabulated in the calculation. That was much greater than the margin of victory again. So the numbers themselves could indicate that your premise that you've quoted from variable sources is correct.